what character are you playing?
I'm playing Seyg-El, Superman's eventual grandfather.
You look old.
I'm 63. I'm what's right.
Oh, okay.
No, he's aging.
It's just Hollywood.
Good
Ducks.
time genes.
Yeah, great plastic surgeons.
I heard there's a time travel element of the show. Will Seg find out anything about his descendants?
Well, yeah. So the story begins with this grand plot to prevent the birth of Earth's greatest hero. So there are many forces which Seg has to combat in this story, both his own society's struggle against its own entropy, as well as this new threat that's coming his way. So eventually, yes, he will have to conflict something about that for sure. We're not ready just to say yeah.
And you've been a Superman fan all your life.
Yes, man, yeah, absolutely. I grew up in the time of the great animated series, so when I was very, very little, I loved watching the Superman animated series and Batman, and so I knew who the characters were. And I was just wandering around a bookshop, and I opened an encyclopedia on Batman, and I was like, there were 3 Robins, and and they're friends, and then that was the first time I realized how connected this world is and how deep the storytelling is. And the thing that cemented me as someone who loves comic books is Jeff Johns' run on Teen Titans, and I read that when I was 12 years old, I think, and from then on I was like, yeah, I love comic books, and I've bought comic books ever since, still do.
So were you aware of the different sort of Seg that was in the comics?
Yeah. From David. Yeah, it's David Goyer who created our show. Yeah, I was. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. I was reading an issue of Superman the other day, and I had a moment. I was like, "That's my boy." it was weird.
I know you haven't gone into production yet, but what are you really looking forward to playing most when you do?
I think I'm just so excited to see where it's going to go. We have an immensely talented cast, and I'm looking forward to getting back together with all of them and just telling the story. Just more than anything, just looking forward to getting to work. Yeah.
Can you talk about Seg's relationship with his grandfather, Val-El?
Yeah, so Val-El was a prominent scientist on Krypton and was immensely important to Seg growing up. Val was this person who taught him about the wonders of science and of the world and the importance of truth and looking for the answer, even if you might not like the answer, even if it's a difficult problem to solve, you've got to face it head on, and that's the only way you can do it. And he loses his grandfather very early on in the story, and eventually all those great things told him about the legacy of the House of El and what it means to be an El feel very far away to Seg, but his grandfather is still the ultimate hero in his life. It's a painful thing for him to think of it.
So what are some of the pivotal relationships that we should be looking forward to on the show?
Yeah, so you got Seg and his grandfather Val-El, his memories of him, as well as you've got Seg and Lyta Zod. So she is the scion of the House of Zod, and she, within Krypton, with this brilliantly constructed society, it's so specific and taken from the comics, where you have a guild system, and one of the guilds is the military guild. She is a soldier, she's a very, very good soldier, and Seg, when we meet him, is kind of just sort of hustling on the streets, and it should be oil and water, but it turns into this romance, and the thing is, what they see in each other is sort of an escape from the society that's drifting towards authoritarianism. And for them to be together in a society that has such precise ideas about who you are and who you can be and the things you can do, to be together is an act of rebellion. And so that is certainly one of the key relationships with him throughout the show.
And how do you plan on portraying this part? Because you'll have all the history, the Superman history in your head, but you're kind of going to be the grandfather of it. So how do you avoid kind of like duplicating what's come before, but you also have to have some sort of similar traits? Can you talk a little bit about how you do that and what the similarities are going to be? Differences?
Well, I think the thing is, you've got to approach it like, even though I am a fan, I'd approach it like I'd approach any other world. And there are differences between the character of Superman and Seg. So Superman has the benefit of growing up on the Kent farm and all that sort of stuff, and he has these powers and is told to use them if you have these abilities, you have responsibility to share them with the world. Seg grows up in a society that is incredibly harsh, and it's a harsh environment to live on. So while in his nature, they are quite similar. There's an incredible willpower, this desire to be part of something that's bigger than themselves, as well as a hatred and desire to fight injustice. Seyg is is a little bit rougher around the edges. He's a little bit more rash. He's got to use different tactics because he doesn't have powers, and he's a scrapper and a fighter, and someone who just believes in a better tomorrow. Yeah.
And then what was say to Kal-El if they ever had a chance to meet?
Oh, gosh, good question. Maybe we'll find out. Who knows?
Because there is time travel.
Well, it's an epic high concept sci-fi story. Yeah. We're very excited about it. It's a very ambitious show. Yeah.